Welcome to the 2021 Economic Depression and Preparation Report. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me on this weekend edition, April 24th, 25th, 2021. Today, we're going to be talking about the chip shortage, semiconductor shortage, and what that could mean for the economy, and also about how inflation continues to affect the American consumers and how it's slowing down the economy. Is going to be slowing down in the summertime and into the fall time. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, to tell all your friends and family that this is the place to be for 100% truth about the financial news in the United States. Thank you so much for your support. So today, as you know, they've been talking about the shortage of semiconductors, dubbed the new oil, could dent GDP growth, gross domestic product growth, and boost inflation. And so a variety of factors have converged to make the semiconductors scarce. Goldman Sachs says the GDP hit from the shortage could be as much as a half a percent, and price increases could hit 3% for affected goods like cars, electronics, and so forth. So this is going to be happening around the world. China has laid out several technologies in this 14-year, 5-year plan. That areas that China will focus on research and include semiconductors and brain-computer fusion. That means the merging of human brain and the computer brain, that they kind of map where they want to go with this artificial intelligence, this automation that we're going to be seeing happening. So I find that interesting that we have soaring demand for these chips. That chips are in everything. It used to be that chips are only in the main things like laptops, phones, telephones, hard disk drives, and stuff like that. But now chips are in everything. They're in cars, they're in motorcycles, they're in electronics other than our mainstream electronics, like Fitbit or your Apple Watch, or there's all kind of chips that are in everything. Flashlights have chips now. Everything that you can think of now has some kind of chip or circuit that is running it. And so with this much delay in the chip shortages, this is why this economy is going to face major problems. Because remember now, we import 80% of our goods and services and only export 20% or less out to other countries. And so you can see where the problem is coming from and how this is going to lead to a slowdown in our economy. Goldman Sachs economists say that for the bulk of 2021, the shortage will translate into an inflationary tax that could result in prices rising. This would boost inflation as much as 0.04 percentage points through the rest of the year, they said. Taken together, while we see relatively modest implications of the semiconductor shortage for GDP growth in the industrial sector, it represents another reason that core goods inflation to remain firm this year. And so we have this chip shortage that's going to be affecting not only our GDP, it's going to be affecting our daily lives, because now we cannot get the goods and services from other countries in terms of chips that we rely on. Our technology is lagging behind, our infrastructure is lagging behind. So where are we going to get the money to pay for this? And they're saying that the infrastructure bill is going to pass, but now Republicans and Democrats are trying to come together and pass a $2 or $3, $4 trillion infrastructure bill. But now the parts may be delayed, because if they need chips for tractors and things, big heavy machinery to do this infrastructure, or even if they need chips for the automated robots that are going to be part of this new infrastructure bill and the Green Deal, it's not going to be coming. It's going to be delayed. It's going to be always crazy. This guy says, the manufacturer leader says, chips have always been an important part for manufacturing and consumer electronics, but their use were broadened to transport and digital services. I don't know if many of you guys have seen this, but you know that Tesla has self-driving semi-trucks now that they're putting out now, and Amazon is starting to get into electric vehicles. These prime vans that you see driving around the neighborhoods and stuff, they're going to get ready to introduce an electric fleet, all electric fleet, coming up in 2022 or 2023, and they're actually self-driving. And so that's eliminating jobs even further than what we have now. Secondly, guys, the inflation, how inflation is affecting the consumers. Consumer Reports sometimes puts out some good reports, and they say that some prices are going up right now, but not all. And so here we talk, for cars, the consumer price index rose in March 0.06%. This is the fastest monthly increase in almost a decade. And so Gas prices have rose 9.1% last month. Okay, food prices have rose 6.3%. Energy prices have rose, as you know, the oil price of oil is going up, and different things like that have gone up as well. Food costs have climbed. Prices for uncooked ground beef rose 2%. Prices for cheese and other related products fell 0.1%. Similarly, costs for fresh potatoes jumped 3.4%. Even the price of apples rose 0.5%. And this is at regular stores, nothing fancy. Major appliance shortage, washing machines, ranges, refrigerators, dryers, all of that. You're not going to see any big discounts on those items anytime soon. So if you have to need one of those or in the need of replacing one of those soon, be sure to shop around for independent retailers and not just at the big box stores. And you may be able to get some bargains on discounts, as they'll be more desperate for a sale in these times. Telecom services have a bit of a break. Telephone and wireless services have maintained a flat price, dipping slightly in March, according to government data, while internet provider costs rose 1%. So I guess they added a new tax. You look on your bills on these Xfinity, Verizon internet bills, and they have all this like 9/11 tax and communications excess tax and picnic fund tax and stuff, and these extra costs. So that's where the 1% is at there. Cars and trucks, the sales of cars and trucks, new cars and trucks, remained flat, ladies and gentlemen. Lower end models, people are buying used cars, older used cars, and not to break the budget right now. If you can find a car for less than a good used car for less than $15,000 or $10,000, I would snatch it up and pay cash for it. Don't get too much in debt for these type of situations, as you know that most of these cars are not built like our elder parents and our great grandparents, where they had actually built cars out of metal and engines that actually run with precision. Nowadays, the cars are built with a lot of sensors and things break and it just doesn't work. So I don't know. TVs, flat screen TVs, curved TVs. Let's see, the inflation on that has been going down. Apparently, but I guess that's why a lot of people spent their stimulus check. Some people spent the stimulus check on upgrading their television. So there you have it. We have increasing need for protecting our money, especially in this initial inflationary environment. As you know, this depression that we're going through, this 10 to 15 year depression, is going to be a deflationary depression. But in the beginning, it's going to appear its head as an inflation because of the shortages that we're going to experience in food, semiconductor chips, water, and also in just in general city services in a lot of these towns and cities. So to get prepared, to recap, we need to first, since we're in this inflationary environment, continue to pay down your debt. Continue to get resources that you're going to need for the long haul. Learn how to grow your own food, prepare your own food, learn how to make your own medicines and stuff like that nature, because healthcare costs are going to be going up as well because of the pandemic, and they don't want to focus on, hospitals are focusing on the money making stuff now, not the elective surgeries or anything that they consider more of a minor need. So continue to prepare. It's not over with yet. As you know, the stock market is going to go through a period right now in the next 2-3 weeks as earnings season comes out this coming week here. I'll be informing you on that. A lot of big companies are going to be talking about earnings. It's going to be going through a period of transition, meaning that it's going to be flatlining as people wait for the next, or as the market waits for the next stimulus, meaning the infrastructure bill. We won't get it as a stimulus check. No other $1,400 is coming to Americans, not through August and September at least. And this is probably that last check that most people got. Is probably going to be the last one individually. They may have more restrictions now for those who are receiving unemployment, certain income restrictions, certain neighborhood restrictions. It can go on and on. But the bottom line is that we're not going to be receiving that. But that's okay. We can take what we have and prepare the best way we can. So blessings on this weekend. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.